I just about was on.
It's your boy.
Shout out to AJ McQueen. Song's fire.
Eee.
Mr. Ray, what's going on?
What's up, Dad? You know we about to talk some college basketball.
No, that's a fact. We'll start in a few. Just want to see if more people are going to come in here. Yes, thank you for coming early.
Oh my God. Hey, Nana. My grandmother's in here, y'all.
Okay. I'm doing all right. A lot of good games. A lot of good basketball this weekend.
A lot of great basketball today.
Yeah, we're going to get to it. All right. Once we can start, what is that, My Labs? Thank you for tapping in with us, and hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Apologies if I did not.
What up? Oh, you feeling my hat, Kenneth? Thank you.
Yeah, that's a custom hat right there.
Facts. Shout out to my cousin, Rashawn, aka Proto Realms.
Yeah.
We got the custom 21 title joints too,
Mm-hmm.
if y'all interested.
Yeah.
I
All
appreciate.
right. Like, go ahead, my bad.
I appreciate you, Kenneth. Thank you. Now go ahead, Roxanne.
No, we gonna jump right into it because we got a lot to cover. A lot of, like I said, a lot of great basketball this weekend. So
That's a fact. So let's get into it. Welcome as always. This is the 21 Titles Weekly Recap. We on episode 52, y'all. We got a lot to talk about tonight. As always, we have 21 titles. My name is Wellness Brit. I got my lovely co-host on top of me.
Shantae,
You know, we make up 21 titles. It's basically, I would say, a development firm. We're really interested in the personal and professional development of the student athlete. And we really want them to grasp the things that we weren't able to grasp when we were developing as student athletes. So we kind of do these things to, you know, expose our audience to things that we think are worth knowing, right? You know, NIL, name, image, and likeness, you know, that has to deal with intellectual property. Shantae's an IP attorney. She could talk to you all about that. Obviously, we're both former collegiate athletes, so we love talking about women's college basketball and just women's sports in any capacity, really. But today we had a fun-filled Sunday of college basketball, so we're going to get into that. And then we usually talk about tech because, you know, we love tech. We think tech is like obviously a big sector in our world, and I think the world kind of moves as tech moves, as technology increases and improves. The world, you know, moves according to that. And then we just wrap it up with some culture. So, yeah, let's get into it. Let's dive deep.
Let's dive into it right away. So this whole weekend has been jam-packed with college basketball. And like Brittany and I mentioned, 2 weeks ago, we're getting March in now December. You know, this month just started, but how these games have been going and concluding, it feels like we are in March Madness, and I don't even know how March Madness is about to give it up this year. Like, it's already lit. The intensity level is already high, and it's like, can we get much higher? Can we get much higher? Because I don't know. And so, yeah, men's basketball right now. So, Bronny James, he's been out. He has not been, he had a heart situation a few months ago, but he just got cleared. So, excited to see him, suit up in a USC uniform, hopefully very soon. I saw LeBron James tweet something like, if his first returning game, if Ronnie's first returning game just happens to fall on a day in which LA also has a game, he's gonna miss the game. He was like, family over everything, right? This is his first son actually, playing in his first collegiate game. It's a milestone.
Yeah.
Who want to miss that as a parent? So I'm excited to see him in a USC jersey and see how he really gets to work.
Right. I want to know what the jersey sale numbers are gonna be.
Right.
Because like we reported, Ronnie is one of the few collegiate athletes that are getting their jerseys actually sold. So it's going to be interesting to see that. I definitely want to get a Juju Watkins jersey for sure, to support that young queen, because she's doing.
We're gonna get to it, but she anyway, we're gonna get to Juju, but she's doing what she came to do. She's putting on for the West. But super happy to hear that Brandon James is obviously healthy enough to get back on the floor. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll keep y'all posted. Outside of that, there's been upsets all weekend on the men's side. There's been upsets all weekend. First, wanted to give thoughts and prayers to KJ Adams on Kansas. If you don't know, Kansas beat UConn yesterday, and that was the game right before his mother's funeral. So very tough. We saw community in real time. We're going to get to it, Kenneth, but KJ Adams, like you just mentioned, his mother unfortunately passed away. And the students at Kansas showed up with her face on like newspapers and was holding him up during the game, and just really trying to be a form of support for KJ while he played this game yesterday, and he showed up and showed out. I think he had a career high 18 points, and it was just really nice to see not only the students show up, but like his teammates show up and his coach show up on Instagram and on just media platforms in general. We were able to see his head coach have some really beautiful, touching words about KJ and all of the trials and tribulations that he's facing right now, and really praying for him, because that is tough, and like I said, it's thoughts and prayers, because that's really tough. It's a tough time.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about offline yesterday, we his mom would have wanted him to play, essentially, and this is, I mean, it's always tough losing a parent at any point in your life, no matter whether you're young or old, it's your parent, so. Just the fact that he was able to go out there and actually perform was a blessing in itself. So shout out to KJ Adams, and praying for him and his family.
So we're continuing with just the games this weekend. On the men's side, we had TCU beating Gonzaga 84-83. It was a prayer. Like they threw up a prayer with 2 seconds left, hit the game winner. That was game.
Right.
Then LaSalle beat UPenn by 93-92 by another buzzer beater. This is all on Saturday. Like this, listen to this. So then we got Michigan beating Oregon in OT, which was another crazy game, 86-83. A really big upset was UNC Wilmington, and they upset 12th ranked Kentucky 80-73. Another crazy game. Big upset. Brittany and I was talking offline just about how NIL and the transfer portal has allowed the gap between divisions to kind of close up. Like, it doesn't matter who you're playing at this point. There's ballers everywhere. I mean, there's always been ballers, but I just feel like it's a different type of energy going on right now. Like, yeah, mad bets, parlays ruined. That's a fact. All weekend. But everybody is balling, and it doesn't matter where you're playing and who you're playing for. These kids are showing up and showing out. So yeah, that was a big upset. Then Georgia Tech, they beat 7th ranked Duke 72-68.
Yep.
And then we had Drexel beating Villanova. I wish your brother was in here just to have a conversation about that. But yeah, Drexel upset 18th ranked Villanova 57-55. Wisconsin beat 13th ranked Marquette. That was another big upset.
Right.
75-64. And then we have Purdue. And, you know, again, Brittany and I talk about Purdue offline, but Purdue always gets upset. I don't know what. And they're usually ranked high. Like, they're ranked number 1 this season. And they fell to Northwestern. They fell to Northwestern last year, too. But, yeah, Northwestern beat them 92-88. And so, again, that was all on Saturday. All of these amazing games happened between Friday and Saturday night. And it's just a beautiful time to be alive and watch college basketball. Again, like, we're only in December. And the game winners, I saw I don't remember the guy's name on St. John's, but he lost a tooth this weekend. His tooth cracked, and he kept balling. That
sound like some Ron Artest stuff.
Yeah, yo, and he was playing with his tooth on the foul line. I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Like, yeah, like, this is nuts. It's been really chippy, really competitive. And the energy's been really high. And the viewership, I know, is really high. The excitement is really high.
Right.
So I don't know what March, like, can it get better than this? And it's like, it's already like, holy. Yeah, obviously he didn't need that tooth, because that's how he was playing. Because I'm like, yo, the tooth is here. But again, the intensity is just high, and the competitiveness is there. Like, these players want to win.
Facts.
And it's just really, it's a very exciting time. It really is. So, anything to add, Brittany, before we get to the women's?
Look, y'all better be studying, so when it's time to fill out our brackets in March, we're well versed. Because a lot is happening right now. Like Shantae said, the playing field is leveling out. And Division I basketball, kids are hooping now. Like, you know, kids all over Division I now have skills and are talented. And we're seeing that with these upsets. You know, some of these kids don't even get a chance to get on TV until the tournament for the first time in their career. So it's good to see them getting like exposure early in the season, so that, you know, so that they can get radar, you know, like,
right.
So I'm loving every second of this, because, you know, you tired of seeing the same old teams win all the time. You know, you want to, you want to see diversity. You want to see them switch it up. But, well, I definitely know my brother's tight. Villanova lost to Drexel, because Drexel is another, you know, obviously Pennsylvania school.
I'm gonna say Philly or
Pennsylvania
is the battle, like.
Yeah, so that I'm sure that was another tough loss for Nova Nation. But yeah, let's go into the women's basketball today. Today we had a triple header essentially on ESPN. A lot of good games today. I think the last game was probably the most boring out of all three.
That's a fact. Like, I was like, all right, y'all. And we gonna get in the last game being Ohio State versus Tennessee. That just went on. I think Ohio State beat them by 20, 78-58. Yeah, we want to talk about Rory. We definitely want to talk about Rory.
That's a fact.
Called you out.
My dad did call me out. He did. I definitely made a tweet about it today too. So
she's a ball of like, yeah. Tennessee and Ohio was the most quote unquote boring game. Still, shout to Ohio State for getting the win. Tennessee is really missing Rakia Jackson. She has been out for the past couple of games. She has been injured. We're going to talk about all of the injuries that's been happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's another thing. While everything's been going really well for college basketball, a lot of players, at least on the women's side, have been sitting out due to unfortunate injury. And Rakia Jackson is one of those players. And yeah, they were missing her today.
Yo, I'm gonna just say this. I know Rakia Jackson's out, but today she was on the bench with no boot on, so that's a great sign, right? She's been wearing this boot for the past couple, obviously, since she's been injured. She's only played 2 games this season, but seeing her on the bench without the boot, very inspiring, very hopeful that she'll be back soon. But Tennessee, y'all gotta have some pride, yo. Like, it seems as if, y'all just playing through the motions. Like, I know Rakia Jackson's out and she's a big piece, but y'all still got to play with the fire and the flame. Like, y'all got to, like...
Natasha, we saw you today.
Yeah, we see you, Natasha. Natasha been working, okay? Y'all better go follow Natasha Cammey, Referee Ready. Go follow her right now. We've been seeing Natasha. You've been working for sure.
We've seen you on a couple games, but yeah, and specifically this game.
Right.
Brittany was talking about Tennessee versus Ohio State. But yeah, go ahead. My bad, Brittany.
Just pick it up. Like, I know it's something to play without your star, but y'all gotta pick it up. Like, I'm just calling you out. Y'all looking lackluster, Just come on, pick it up. Yeah. We like watching y'all play. So when y'all don't play with enthusiasm and with heart, it's kind of hard to watch. But rolling along, I think the South Carolina Duke game, that was a good game.
Yeah.
South Carolina pulled away in the third quarter. Like,
no, that's a fact. It was a chippy. You want to talk about? Let's talk about it. Like,
go ahead.
Go ahead. It was just a chippy game, yo. Pretty much the start, the start of the game. It's been a battle of the Carolinas, right? We're gonna talk about the games throughout the week in a second, but this was another battle of the Carolinas, and so it gets real down south between North Carolina and South Carolina, and so South Carolina, like Brittany said, pulled out the win against Duke, 77-61. There was some words exchanged between Chloe Kitts, a couple of Duke players. I'm like, oh, Chloe Kitts.
Look,
I like her. She's a little spicy.
Chloe Kitts is tough, okay?
She is tough. And she plays with heart.
She does.
She plays with heart.
She plays with a lot of urgency, okay? Like, she knows that she got to get down, and she's not afraid to get down and dirty. She'll get down there.
She's not.
Like,
because, looking at her, she's a tall girl.
Right.
Let me be clear. She's tall. I don't know how tall she is. At least 6 feet.
She has to be.
Yeah. Right. Where'd she go? Right. But she's not the heaviest or thickest girl.
Right. She's not that solid.
She be looking for the contact. Like, that's what I saw. I'm like, she's looking to draw the foul.
Yes.
She's not shying away from it. I'm like, okay. And then when she got into it today during the game, she was like, y'all just tore it. Oh, and she get a little spicy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got it. We saw Dawn get on the court.
Yeah.
None of that. She got on the court, defending her squad. It was a really good competitive game, and that's what you want to see all the time. I love it. I love the spiciness and I love the competitiveness in women's basketball right now. And
Right.
yeah, now I also want to shout out Radiant Richardson on Duke. She was making really big shots towards the end of the game. Really brought to my attention that Duke is a very young team. Because there was times throughout the game in which I felt like they were very scattered. They were very just everywhere. And then once Brittany told me, I'm like, well, that makes sense, right? There was times in which they needed to settle down and make plays, and they were just not. They just weren't doing it. It wasn't happening for them. I think they did a really good job in the first half containing Cardoso. Now, come second half, Camilla woke up. And then once you wake up the dragon, it's over.
Right.
And that's essentially what happened. I feel like Duke did a great job executing the first half. They just did not do that the second half. They were just losing gas, and unfortunately, that ended up in a loss. But they made it a really good game.
Yeah.
And I think, the more games that South Carolina plays, it just shows that you're getting battle tested because everybody is gunning. Obviously, for South Carolina, y'all are ranked number one. Everybody they play, ranked or unranked, is going to come for your neck. They're going to come for your neck. And that's what we've been seeing. These teams have been going super hard against South Carolina and have been giving them a run for their money. We're going to talk about Deja Kelly. Yep, tell Deja to stop doing dancing on TikTok and IG. I saw that too. I did. I was like, this generation loves some TikTok and all that.
Oh, that's all they do. Y'all see Carmelo, son? Cayenne, he. Come on.
Right. All of that.
Come on.
But yeah, we might as well just talk about it now. Yeah, South Carolina, they played North Carolina Wednesday. We actually recorded on Wednesday over on the 9450. Definitely subscribe if you have not. Definitely a shameless plug. Check us out on the 9450 podcast.
Ain't no shame in our game.
None. Check us out. We definitely was talking about it. Because, yeah. Anyway, they played against North Carolina, again, the Battle of the Carolinas. And it was, again, another spicy. It was super spicy.
Yeah.
Deja Kelly is super small, right? Deja Kelly's super small in size, but she makes up with it with heart. Like, that girl can, she a big girl.
Right.
She's another small point guard who's not afraid of contact at all. And she plays, like I said, like she's 6 feet tall. That's her attitude. And so, yeah, North Carolina, I think North Carolina did a great job as well in the first half, keeping up with South Carolina. I think they held Cardoso to maybe 6 points or something for the game.
Yeah.
Cardoso ended up with 6 and 16. So, she was still on the boards like a mother during that game. But, yeah, it got spicy between Deja Kelly, Cardoso. It was pushing. It was a lot of shoving. It was a lot of talking. We love this. I don't know what else to say other than we love to see if these women want to win. It's not boring. Right. It's not boring. These women are showing up and showing out. And, again, battle tested. South Carolina came out with the win. Everybody's gunning for them. And I mean everybody. And,
but you know what? I'm going to say South Carolina, the thing about Dawn Staley is she always makes sure that she has a strong schedule, especially in the beginning, because all of this right now is preparing them for the tourney.
yeah.
That's really what this is. This is all preparing them for the tourney. We talking about the SEC tourney, right? At the end of the season, when they go to their conference championship tournaments, and then obviously the NCAA tourney. They lost. What? They didn't make it to a Final Four last year, right? Or did they? No, they made it to a Final Four. They lost to Iowa, right?
Yeah. They lost.
They lost to Iowa, so they trying to get back and win another national championship. I know that. And they so like well just pieced together. Like the chemistry is crazy. Like I almost forgot about Tessa Johnson.
Yeah.
The other freshman. Shantae was spicy, no lie. Nah. Shantae was spicy. Her and Shanae down low, spicy.
That's hard.
Spicy.
You gotta be. You playing against a competitor, it's like,
yeah.
You want to come to the basket, I'm gonna foul you hard. Okay, we're gonna have some words exchange. It just makes for their game too. Like it makes for a better game. But yeah, South Carolina is a super complete team.
Yeah.
They're a complete team.
Wiley, Johnson. Obviously, we talked about Kits, Cardozo, then Raven Johnson out here. Let me just give a shout out to Raven Johnson because she was in the gym this summer. She was in the gym. She was in the gym working on her J because she's shooting with confidence.
She is. She's not even thinking about it, right?
No. Last year she was glitching. She was glitching when it came to trying to shoot the ball. This year she's shooting the ball, leaving the follow through up, yelling at the crowd. I'm like, who is this person? Yes.
That's what you have to do during the off season, and it shows up for you. But okay, then I got Pow. I like, you know what? I love Pow. She's super kind. I like.
You hit the nail on the head.
So calm.
Yeah, she plays with an exceptional amount of pace. Like you cannot rattle this girl. Like there was one play, very great pickup. There was one play in the game where she basically had the ball the whole possession. She dribbled like she was trying to find someone. She dribbled down the baseline, dribbled up, and the girl just kind of like stopped playing defense on her, and then she dribbled to the rim and got the N1. I was like,
just patient, just a patient player,
right? High IQ.
Yeah, and she could shoot, and so like Brittany mentioned last season, what we thought the Gamecocks were missing were shooters. One of the things in which we felt they were missing were shooters, and they just really did a good job. And getting players to work on their jump shot, like Brittany mentioned, and then filling some gaps with just new players that can shoot the ball. And so they are a real complete team, and it is still super early in the season. We're only about 4 to 5 weeks in, if that.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's 5, maybe 4. But yeah, anyway, shout out to South Carolina. Moving on, we have UConn versus Texas. Again, Brittany don't care for UConn.
Nah,
don't care for UConn. And they lost today, 80-68. I wonder what's going on in Geno's mind. I'm gonna be honest. Like,
he mad he losing.
Yeah, that gotta be a tough reality to face though, because you've been winning and smoking everybody's boots for so long, and the tables have turned, and it's like, damn, Geno. They kept talking about him today, and I was like, yeah, I really wonder what's going on in his brain. But Texas came out. They came out swinging today.
Yeah.
Let's get to it. Your father talking about Rory Harmon.
Yeah, I was. My dad been talking about Rory Harmon for the past 2 years, and I have not been paying attention. Today, watched her for the first time, and he's not lying. I mean, she almost wound up. I mean, she basically, if she would have had 5 more assists or rebounds, she would have had a triple double.
The girl 5'6".
She's 5'6". She's short, but she's feisty. She's a pest. She's a two-way player. Her mid-range game is crazy. Yeah, and she was putting the clamps on Paige today. It's a remarkable thing to see UConn lose. Like,
and I mean lose.
Like they're losing. Like UConn is no longer the dominant team that they once were. Teams are no longer scared. We've gotten past that threshold where UConn is now the mighty Goliath. Right. And I love to see it. I didn't know when we were going to get to this place.
Or if we ever was going to get to this
place. Right. I felt like my team when I was in school was like the only team that was like, yo, we can beat these girls. Like they tie their laces just like us. They put their shorts on just the same as us. Like there's nothing to fear.
Right.
If you come prepared, you're prepared.
Right. But they I don't know.
They're looking real shaky right now, and I'm shocked.
I'm taking it back, and so that's really what I was trying to express when they kept panning to Gino, and then they kept talking about how this was the first time. Let me also say this is the first time Texas
beat UConn. Yeah.
UConn.
Mm-hmm.
It's never like to what Brittany just said, right? Like everybody was looking at UConn like Goliath, and UConn was Goliath at one point. They've never beat UConn. This is the first time in their history that they've been able to do this. And so, yeah, man, I was just taken aback. And yeah, they came out smoking hot, like.
Yeah, very much so.
From the very beginning, they didn't take their foot off the gas until maybe about the fourth quarter. And
yeah.
Oh, good. Speaking on Connecticut, yeah. And so Rory Harmon, she ended up with 27 points. I think that was her career high.
Yeah.
And then let me tell you about Booker. Listen, Booker's a freshman. This girl's a freshman on Texas.
Yeah.
Big body. That's number one.
Yeah.
Can handle the ball, and she can shoot the ball. And she was only averaging about, I think they said 11 points because she was only playing like 21 minutes, averages 21 minutes.
Right.
I don't know how many minutes she played today. I'm pretty sure it was only 21. But she finished with 20 plus points today. The girl is good. This freshman class, again, we talk about this freshman class. Probably, look, it's no joke. She's no joke. And to think she's only a freshman is really crazy.
Yo.
These freshmen, all of the freshmen,
they nice.
Have been showing up and showing out. That is my hope for tonight. Showing up and showing out. Yeah. Because, like, I have no words. Like,
yeah, it was.
They just good.
It was very refreshing to watch Madison Booker play today. Like, and the fact that she was wearing the Trey 5. Okay.
Good, man. That girl is good, and I'm interested to see how she does within the next few years.
Oh yeah.
That girl is good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're gonna be looking at Texas, keeping our eye on Texas.
Texas is another great competitor.
Very, very good team. So great Sunday of basketball.
I'm gonna clap it up. And it was great basketball all weekend.
That's a fact.
And then next weekend we got more great basketball. Brittany and I was just talking about how I haven't been able to see Utah play.
Right.
Brittany, you didn't see them play either.
No.
So Utah is scheduled to play South Carolina. That's going to be a good game. Definitely looking forward to that.
You know what game I'm looking forward to too? So before the season started, we talked about a couple of players. One of the players we talked about was Audie Crooks from Iowa State.
Yes.
Iowa State plays Iowa on Wednesday. So I'm very excited to see how that goes down. Audie Crooks, I think she's averaging 16 points per game right now, and she's averaging about 19 minutes. So it's gonna be nice to get a chance to see her play. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we'll keep you posted, but yeah, very exciting. So I know Kenneth mentioned Angel Reese. Yeah, Angel Reese, she was missing. She's been MIA for a minute. But she returned this past week, I believe on Wednesday, to play against Virginia Tech. It just so happened she happened to return against Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
Because they did lose. Did they lose to Virginia? No, Virginia Tech lost to them.
Yeah,
last year to make it to the Final Four, I believe.
Yeah.
The final round, one of the two. Either way, this was supposed to be a really good matchup on Wednesday, and it was a really good match. It turned out to be a really good matchup. It was good to see Angel Reese back on the floor, but again, the freshman class, Williams on LSU. Yo, listen, she plays so smooth on the floor,
right,
and so calm on the floor.
It's just an ode to the freshman class. The 2023 freshman class is crazy right now.
They are crazy, and they just be doing basic, but like real basic moves, textbook moves, but they're great finishers. Their IQ level is very high.
Very high.
They make good decisions. And I think that, again, that was a great pickup for LSU. I think LSU, Brittany and I talked about this offline, is still figuring out who they are.
The chemistry.
Their team's identity, they're still figuring it out.
Right.
And it shows when they play. It showed even on Wednesday when they were playing against Virginia Tech.
Right.
You know, and sometimes it's weird seeing Haley Van Lith, at least for me, at the one.
Yo, Shantae got a bone. Shantae got a bone to pick with Haley.
No, it's just odd seeing her in that position. You know, she came from Louisville, where she was, I believe, a 2, and she was more of a scorer, and just sometimes I forget Haley Van Lith is on the floor. She can't give everybody NIL money. That is true. That's true. Sometimes I forget she's on the floor. I think, and again, that's no disrespect to Haley Van Lith, because Haley Van Lith is good.
I understand what you're saying. Like, for me, watching her, I feel like she's deferring. Like, she defers a lot because there are other, obviously, stars on the team, right? Like, Anissa Morrow, she's playing very, very well right now. And obviously, Michaela Williams, we talk about her all the time. We just talking about her. The girl put up 37 points already in one game.
Yeah.
Like, she's a walking bucket. Flau'jae gonna get some points. Obviously, who else is on the team? They have Angel, she's back. Yeah, so I think they just gotta. Obviously, there was a lot of drama. Look, y'all, there's gonna be a lot of locker room talk. Every team goes through locker room talk.
Yeah.
It just so happens that this was very public because of the university and who they are, right? It's Angel Reese, obviously. She's been on a crescendo since last year. We've seen that, right? Kim Mulkey, she's a legendary coach, so she's obviously an interesting character. She has a lot of personality. Okay, so these things are gonna happen. I mean, look, they made up after the game. Kim Mulkey just hit 700 wins. She's the fastest coach to hit 700 wins in the Division I, right? Hey, I'ma just say this. I thought that hug at the end of the in the locker room was a little cringy to me. A little cringy.
Wow.
Between Angel and Kim Mulkey. Like, you ain't see it when she's like she hugs her and then she lifts her up. and she's like holding her face. It was kind of cringy to me. I don't know.
I didn't see it.
Did any of y'all see the aftermath in the locker room when Angel basically was celebrating with Kim Mulkey for 700 wins? Like, she held her face.
Who held whose face?
Angel held Kim's face, Kim Mulkey's face. then held her up, and then it was cringy and awkward. So I don't know.
I gotta check it out.
Just let me know when y'all see it, y'all.
Yeah, I know. I'm definitely gonna. I didn't see it, but shout outs. Yeah, those things happen. It's locker room business, and I don't think we'll ever really know. Like,
we're not gonna know.
We're never gonna find out what it really was,
unless down the line Angel go on a podcast down the line and tells right.
Other than that, it's all we're gonna be left with is assumption. So I don't know.
Speculation.
They didn't learn from that soccer situation. Yeah, I don't. Good point. I don't. Yeah. Yeah.
No, they didn't.
I mean, also shouts to Angel Reese for being on the under 34s list. I thought that was super fire. There was a ton of women's athletes on there. We had Lakeisha Collier from Minnesota Lynx, Sha'Carri Richardson. I'm naming a few, but it was a bunch of young women on that list, and that's a big deal. So also wanted to give a shout out to Angel Reese about that. And then, we're going to just roll into USC and Juju Watkins. So, yeah, Juju Watkins, man. Juju Watkins has been balling on USC. She's been taking USC to a place they haven't been to since Lisa Leslie played on that team, which is, in the 90s? So it's been a long time coming. And, Juju Watkins has been very loud about her purposefully picking USC and staying home to bring back basketball to the West. She's very adamant about winning a championship before she leaves and ends her college career. And she is backing all of that up with her play. And I mean, at the time of us, really looking at this article that we're referring to, they only played 6 games. And in those 6 games, she's already totaled 161 points, which is crazy, right? 161 points, it's only been 6 games. That could also be the case, Kevin. That is true. Yes. We're going to talk more about that, but we both agree. Yeah. But yeah, Juju Watkins is a phenomenal player. I unfortunately have not been able to watch a full game of Juju Watkins playing as of yet. But just watching the highlights and watching clips, she's smooth. Like she's been playing super smooth even before she got to USC. The girl could ball. She's just a really controlled player. Like she plays under control. She's a walking bucket.
She plays like an upperclassman. I mean,
she does. Again, this freshman class, I don't know when's the last time we've seen a freshman class that's like producing at this level.
Yes, that's key, right? Like this freshman class has had a seamless transition from high school into college, and that is a very difficult thing to do. Anytime you go up in level, like we said, there's like an adjustment period that you have to go through, and it just seems like most of them have bypassed that adjustment period and just been like, it looked like they've been in college already. Like it looks like they've already been here for a few years and they just picking up where they left off.
That's right. No, you're right. And So yeah, Juju Watkins was damn near averaging almost 30 points a game.
Yeah, I mean, she's right behind.
Caitlin Clark.
Right.
Like, again, as a freshman. So, yeah, like I said, in these 6 games, she's garnered 161 points, 45 rebounds, 19 assists, 14 steals, and 8 blocks. That's a crazy stat line with just 6 career games. Again, 6.
Wow.
And the last person to have reached these numbers over a 6-game span is LeBron James. She's in great company. So we can only imagine what she's gonna do within these 4 years. Like,
yeah.
And yeah, she has led the Trojans to be seeded at number 6, and this is their highest AP top 25 ranking since 1994. And that last time was when Lisa Leslie was a senior at USC. So she's already making history. She's putting on for the West, and it sounds good. Juju Watkins, like, she's doing what she came to do.
Look, if y'all haven't watched her play, please do. Just go look at highlights of her last couple of games. I mean, the girl she's carrying the team as a freshman. I mean, that's a difficult thing to do. So shout out.
That's another.
A lot of them are carrying. Yeah.
We talked about Williams on LSU. Mm-hmm. I personally feel like she's been carrying LSU.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. You got Hannah Hidalgo on Notre Dame.
Right.
Monster numbers. Like, these freshmen are putting up monster numbers, and like Brittany just mentioned, they are carrying the team, and they're playing as if they are experienced juniors and seniors.
Yeah.
They look so comfortable carrying their team as freshmen. So,
facts.
Again, just wanted to shout out the freshman freshman class. Y'all are showing up. We talked about Rickea Jackson being injured. Unfortunately, AZ Fudd is another. We talked about UConn. AZ Fudd is out. Yeah. I was distraught. I'm not gonna hold you. AZ Fudd just came back, got cleared to play for this season. She was injured last season. I think she had a knee injury last season, and then come to find out last week she tore her ACL and MCL, which is devastating. Because again, she sat out majority, if not the whole season last year, and then to turn around and be only a couple games in this season, and then you turn around and injure yourself not in a game, but in practice too. Like, this didn't happen in the game; it happened in practice.
Yeah.
Which sucks. I tore my ACL. Brittany also tore her MCL. It's not fun. Like that's it's tough. Injuries are tough. You have to have the mental fortitude to keep, to stay focused, to be motivated.
Right.
And that's just tough to do right at the beginning of the season. And you're going to sit there and watch your team play the whole season. You can't assist. So, prayers to AZ Fudd, but people were definitely coming at the UConn training staff this past week on Twitter. Diamond DeShields, she tweeted she was on Twitter and said, "Who the string coach over there to WCF?" And basically AZ Fudd's parents was, quoted just demonstrating how positive they were about the program, about UConn's program, UConn's training staff. And they believe, that they're supporting AZ, and they know that she's going to be fine. But definitely let it be known, that you can't control every scenario, and you can't prevent all injury. Like, of course, you could do as much as you can, as best as you can to keep your body intact to avoid injuries, but you cannot avoid them all. And unfortunately, this was just one of these situations where it happened again. And
this is kind of tough because we've talked about how UConn over these past couple of years have been devastated from injuries. Obviously, Ice Brady's playing now, but she was injured last year.
Yep.
Paige tore her ACL last year, missed most of her junior season, right? AZ is getting hurt again. So they've run into a string of, unluckiness. And it's interesting to see UConn work their way out of this, and see how, they continue to, be an elite program. But yeah, injuries have plagued their team these past couple of years, and that's just something that's unfortunate. Obviously, I love AZ Fudd. She wear that 3-5. She's a dynamic shooter. I'm praying for her recovery, and I'm just praying for, like you said, her mental fortitude. It's tough to come back from major surgeries like this. Like, I just had a meniscus. She has an ACL and a meniscus. Like, it's tough seeing your teammate have to go through rehab, or you just having to experience rehab. Like, right after your meniscus surgery, the next day you start in rehab. You know how tough that is? Like, you can't bend your knee. Like, you got all these bandages on your knee. Like, I mean, Shantae, you had to recover from an ACL tear. That is not fun. It's not fun. Like,
it's not. I feel bad. I feel bad for her because it's like it's back to back. So
right.
That's the most craziest thing to me. Like,
yeah,
got cleared, played again,
and then it happened again.
That's heartbreaking about it.
Yeah.
Like, damn. But things happen for a reason.
If that ain't the truth, that ain't the truth.
We just hoping and praying that, like Brittany says, he's positive, keeps ahead, and, comes back better than ever before, stays healthy, and keeps her mental health in check.
Yeah.
That's another thing. So, I'm some prayers for AZ Fudd. And we got one last thing. We had a long sports segment, y'all. There was a lot going on this week. So, thank you for bearing with us and talking with us. Christy Tolliver joins the Phoenix Mercury as associate head coach. Now, she hasn't officially retired. Like, she didn't come out and be like, hey, y'all, I'm done.
Right.
But we're assuming that, that conversation or that announcement may be happening soon because of, her move to the Phoenix Mercury. So, yeah, she's going to be joining the coaching ranks in the 2024 season as associate head coach. And, Christy is a two-time WNBA champion. She's a three-time All-Star. And she also tore her ACL in September. So, but yeah, she hasn't formally announced her retirement. She's only 36. She's bringing a ton of experience in her role. She's going to be assisting the head coach, Nate Tibbetts. And, she did coach 2 seasons over with the Dallas Mavericks with Jason Kidd. And she also was coaching over at the Washington Wizards in 2018, I believe. And so she has the experience. She has the coaching experience. And Brittany and I always talk about the transition after basketball. And it's just really cool to see that she's still basketball adjacent. And she has the experience to do it. So, yeah, we'll see how Phoenix Mercury needs it. They need, they may be in a rebuilding period. Right now, I don't think they had the best season or the season that they would have liked to have.
Right.
I don't recall what their record was ending, but it just wasn't, the best season for them. So,
no.
It seems like they're, finding pieces to kind of get things going over there.
Yeah, I think this is a great hire by the Phoenix Mercury. I think a lot of people were questioning the Nate Tibbetts hire because nobody knows who this guy was. He came from the Orlando Magic. Nobody knows who this guy was when he got hired. So I'm happy that the second most important hire, which is the second in charge, associate head coach. I think Christy has a lot to offer. Christy Tolliver is a year older than me, and she was the person that got me ready for college. The year before I went into college, Christy Tolliver hit that shot to win the national championship for Maryland.
Maryland, yep.
I remember that shot to this day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I was in the house screaming. Like, yo, I can't believe she hit this shot. High basketball IQ. Like, it was really sad that she went out the way she went out this season when she tore her ACL, because we talk about how AZ Fudd had a back-to-back like kind of injury. Christy Tolliver's been plagued with injuries a lot these past couple of years. Like, it was literally, she just came back that game when she played her last game and tore her ACL. Like, she was suffering from plantar fasciitis the entire season. Like, she was already on the injury reserve. That is not fun. I've definitely seen my teammates
it's not fun either.
Go through that. Like, you can't even put your foot on the floor because it's that painful. Like,
it's just hurt.
Bad. But yeah, shout out to Christy Tolliver. I'm looking forward to seeing how she helps Phoenix rebounds, because they need to rebounds. They look brazy right now. They had a bad year. They're definitely under 500 for sure. Under 500. So yeah, Christy Tolliver going to the Phoenix Mercury is a good look for them. Great hire.
Shout out to Christy.
Bang. Moving on to NIL.
NIL news. We reported a couple months back how Vanessa Bryant announced that 6 universities would be partnering with Mamba and Mamba Seek the Sports Foundation. And so the 6 schools that she was talking about a couple months ago with the University of Connecticut, the University of Southern California, the University of Oregon, Duke University, Louisiana State University, and the University of Kentucky. And so this week we actually had the opportunity to see Duke roll out the colorways of the Nike Kobe 8 PEs. And them drinks is fire. They are blue. If you haven't seen them, definitely check it out. I think there's a picture of them on Boardroom. But the colorways are obviously like the navy blue. And they got like the signature on the side. There's black, and then they have another colorway in white. Just, rolling with the Duke colors. So it looks fire, and again, it gives honor to Kobe and his legacy, and it's just really supporting the relaunch of his sneakers and the foundation and the company. So we'll be on the lookout for the other colorways, for the other 5 universities, and we'll keep that posted, but definitely check out the sneakers. They're fire. So just wanted to say that.
Okay.
Moving on to a Title IX sex discrimination class action suit that was just filed by the females over at Oregon University. So there are 32 current and former female student athletes that filed a sex discrimination class action lawsuit against the University of Oregon this past Friday, and they were alleging basically that they are being deprived of equal treatment and benefits under Title IX. And, they did mention, hold on a second, I'm sorry. They have 26 women, varsity beach volleyball team members, and 6 women's club rowing team members filing the lawsuit. And so they're basically saying that the facility, and I think we've been through this before, even in our own personal lives as previous collegiate athletes. What typically happens is the men get better, they get better stuff. They get a better locker room. They get better jerseys. They get more practice gear. That's just how it is. the football team, they get more resources, they get more accesses. Get more access to things at the university, and so essentially that's what this suit is essentially detailing, including the fact that these female student athletes feel like the NIL opportunities are not being really made available to them as much as it is the male student athletes at the University of Oregon.
Yeah.
And they provided data, they provided numbers, and so we're gonna keep a close eye on this. Interested to see if this causes some type of like snowball effect with other schools. I wouldn't be surprised if it does, because this is happening across the country in different universities. So this is the first time we're seeing NIL and Title IX really like collide. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, it really has been like that though. We can't speak to the NIL portion because when we played, there was no NIL.
Right.
But as far as just resources, like.
Oh yeah, the discrepancies.
Yeah, they're there. We just reported last year, like at the Vegas tournament, the girls was playing in like a ballroom setting down in a hotel. There was no EMT. No EMT there. No, again, you would never see that at a men's tournament. You would never see that. That never happened. First of all, why? Look at my background, Brittany. Look at my background.
Oh, wow.
You just missed all the sparkles. Y'all saw it in the comments. Y'all saw what my phone just did.
How did that happen?
It made it seem like it was like the 4th of July. You saw all the sparkles.
Wow. Shantae's phone been bugging, y'all.
It's been bugging. That just threw me off.
Been bugging.
That's special. It must be special because I don't know what that was. Y'all got free ramen noodles and sneaker laces. What are you talking about?
What is Kevin saying?
I don't want to know. But like, I'm assuming that there's going to be more, class action lawsuits being filed like this across the country. So. We'll keep y'all posted. Kevin, what are you talking about? I want to know.
Right. Shout out to everybody that came in here. Shout out my cousin Ebony. Shout out Cam. Shout out 5 Rings Drones Photos. Welcome, y'all. Thank you. We on our NIL segment right now.
That was crazy what my phone did.
Yeah, Shantae's phone is bugging. Like, we seen a thumbs up today that came out of nowhere. Like, what is that doing?
On my phone. It's just again, AI, whatever, tech. Anyway, still on NIL, we're moving on. Deion Sanders, he mentioned that NIL is extremely important or tremendously important, but it shouldn't just be about the bag. So, he basically was saying, like, NIL for y'all, they were giving y'all scraps. Yeah, that's a fact. Okay, now I'm saying what you mean. They were. They wasn't giving us. Yeah, they wasn't giving us ramen noodles and sneaker laces. You right about that.
Right.
Yep. Kenneth, you were absolutely right. We were happy. I mean, we still are happy about that. But dang, we could have been making some bank. Anyway, Deion Sanders, he was mentioning when it comes to recruiting that if a player is just looking for NIL money, that they shouldn't come to Colorado, because he literally said the program is not an ATM. He said that. And he said that the Buffaloes don't want to buy players per se, that he's looking for players that love the game and want to play at the next level. And that's important, right? Like, of course, you want to, at this stage of the game in college sports, you want to make money. Right. But you also should want to play the sport and play to win. Like, that is the focus. And so, yeah, that's essentially what he's saying. Like, don't come over here just trying to chase the bag. And so this article also interviewed Nebraska's head football coach and addressed the elephant in the room. And somebody asked him how much does a transfer quarterback cost, and he said, "Make no mistake, a good quarterback in the transfer portal costs $1 million to $1.5 million to $2 million right now."
What?
I was taken aback with that number.
I wish
now,
I.
The transfer portal just opened for football players this past week. It just opened.
Is that why so many people? Is that why so many people been entering the transfer portal in football?
Yes.
I've been seeing.
They have 30 days. So the transfer portal opened, I think, Tuesday or something like that.
Right.
30 days to decide where they will be heading tonight. And yeah.
I've been seeing left and right. I seen the Duke quarterback. I seen a few quarterbacks this week, and I'm like, yo, what is going on? So that makes sense.
Yeah. Kenneth said he sounded like a hypocrite. The money is why he went to Colorado. That is a good point.
Right.
That is a great point.
Right.
Can't refute that. Okay. That's a good point. He up there getting chicken endorsements and selling shades. That's a fact. I can't refute that. The only thing I will say is that obviously he wants young men on the team that want to win.
Right.
The bag is cool, but I came here to coach and I came here to win. Like Deion Sanders is a winner.
Right.
And he's been getting money. Like he's been getting money, but he wants to win because that's the cloth that he's built like that.
Right.
He has shown that in his own career. So he wants to win. I want the bag and I want the W. So that's what he's saying. Like, you can come here for the bag, but you also gotta come here
to work.
You better come here to work.
That's a fact.
We just not giving back for free. He also mentioned that in the article. He was like, some of these recruits, they come out and the first thing they're talking about is money. And it's like, it shouldn't be the first thing you're talking about is money. The first thing you should talk about is how you're going to be a value to this program.
Right.
And show that you're going to be a value of this program. Because then the bag is going to follow. If
right.
you do what you're supposed to do, the bag is going to come. And that's essentially what he's saying. He's like, I'm not hating on them getting money, but come do what you said you were going to do.
Right.
Come here to get a bag. Yeah. And I was taken aback by the $1 million to $1.5 million for a quarterback. In the portal, these kids getting paid like professionals.
Yeah. So,
and the Nebraska coach also said there are some teams that have a $6 to $7 million, $6 to $7 million players playing for them. Right? Brittany, what? Yo, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
In my bank account. In my bank account. Yeah.
No. That's a bad example. If you have your son flaunting his Bentley in front of teammates, that's a fact. I mean, and that's something that Brittany and I talked about too. Just how there's pros and cons to the NIL, to this NIL era. It's like, okay, you may have some teammates that are jealous that some of their teammates are getting money, more money than they're getting. You may get a situation where a coach is getting tight because the player is getting paid more money than they may be getting paid.
It may happen.
And then you did mention, Kenneth, the situation with Angel Reese. Again, we don't know what happened, but these are just the effects of like NIL and the transfer portal, right? Like you're gonna have to practice probably a lot more discipline than Brittany and I probably had to practice. We wasn't managing appearances and business, business obligation. We wasn't doing all of that. So the discipline level gotta be high. Then you enter the transfer portal. You gotta make sure when you get to the school that you mesh with the players and the coach. I mean, I think we're kind of seeing that right now with LSU, and Brittany and I talked about that offline. Like the transfer portal is great, and you have a star-studded team. You're stacked, but the chemistry is not there yet, and that is the consequences of the transfer portal. So yeah, I think you make a good valid point, Kenneth. Like there's pros and cons. Ebony said, "Put the work in the bag will follow." That's a fact. Put the work in. You show that you know that you that person, you that player. The bag is gonna follow. So
Right.
I think all y'all make great points. And then you trying to reprimand your player, and he's saying, "Get you." Yeah, and that's another thing. I think that's another, even at the high school level, right? Because NIL is just not focused on college; it's also high school. So Brittany and I have also had those conversations offline where these high school players are now just focused on getting to the bag, and when their coach is trying to coach them and give constructive feedback, they're not all. I'm not talking about all high school players, but there are some that are not open to hearing what their coach has to say.
Thanks.
The roles are now, when Brittany and I were growing up, we would listen to what our coach said, because who the hell are we to say anything?
Right.
We're learning, right? Like, we understood the power dynamic. Like, this is my coach. I'm to listen. I'm to do what I'm asked to do. That's not the energy today necessarily. I think it's lost to a certain extent.
Right.
And now it's so easy to be like, okay, you yelling at me, I'm out. I'm going to the next. Especially if you're a good player. If you're a really good player that's showing up, I'm going to the next team. Like, it's a different dynamic now. And it's just a different dynamic. And so, I don't know what else to say about it. I think you're absolutely right, Kevin. And that's how they be talking to their coaches now.
Yeah. Man. What I want to say, but I can't. Okay. Offline.
All right. Well, that's all we had for NIL. That was a great conversation, and thank y'all for, having some feedback in the comments. So now we're going to go to tech. And so this week, he really brought this to my attention. We got a Portuguese soccer star, Cristiano Ronaldo. This man has been hit with I shouldn't be laughing. It's not funny. It's really not, and that's really, I'm so sorry. Cristiano Ronaldo has been hit with a class action lawsuit. He's seeking at least $1 billion in damages.
$1 billion.
For his role in promoting NFT on Binance. Binance is an exchange where you can buy and sell NFTs. That's one of the things you can do on Binance, and that's what he's getting sued for. $1 billion. Now again, he's from Portugal. Like, he's not from the U.S., but because we're trading, right? Not trading, or made this security available to everybody in different parts of the world, including the U.S., you are subjected to U.S. laws. And so, yeah, this lawsuit was filed this past week on Monday. And so what happened was Ronaldo, he created an NFT last year in 2022, right before he won, I think, the World Cup. And so he had NFTs that were in the price range of from $77 to $10,000. And it featured 7 animated statues depicting Ronaldo from iconic moments in his life, from bicycle kick goals to his childhood in Portugal. And then, basically, why he's getting sued is he didn't disclose how much Binance was actually paying him for the partnership, because, again, he was in partnership with Binance to release these NFTs. And that's really the main reason. Like, he didn't disclose. And because of that, people bought into this NFT. The claim is that these people bought into the NFT, not knowing that they were securities, not knowing that, he was in partnership with Binance. Everybody was buying these goddamn NFTs. And so now class action lawsuit.
Damn, Cristiano.
Under the FTC, right? The Federal Trade Commission, you have to disclose, even if it's not NFTs. It can be anything. Let's say Amazon was like, "Hey, Brittany, and this is not legal advice. Hey, Brittany, we saw that you like working with certain pens. We saw you're an author. You like, hey, we want to, send you some pens. And let's say it's like big. Big is like, we want to, send you some pens. Brittany,
Okay.
we want you to do a review on your Amazon. I mean, not on your Amazon, but on your YouTube page. Brittany is supposed to disclose in the comments and before she starts the review, hey y'all, this is Brittany. Thanks for tapping in with me this evening. Just want to let y'all know I'm about to do a review on Big. Just also want to let y'all know Big is paying me to do this review. I'm still gonna keep it real, but I'm gonna let y'all know I'm getting paid. You have to disclose that, and you have to put language on social media. Like we'll see, like people have the hashtag ad. Hashtag, like, you have to let it be known they're getting paid. This is a paid promotion.
Right.
This man did not do that. So now he's facing
Look,
$1 billion, which is crazy.
he got the money.
Now he got the money. Let's skip the last one. Yeah, sponsor, right? Let's skip that one. We'll circle back to that next week.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, that's what we have for tech news. Really makes me laugh, y'all. He got the money.
He's a famous soccer player. He got the money.
Soccer players do have the guy.
He just like Messi.
Different guy.
He just like Messi.
But still, Brittany, you wouldn't spend a billion? You want to lose a bill?
No.
And then you know what's more than a bill because you got to pay your lawyer.
Lawyer
If
fees.
he ain't got it, go get that. Oh,
Not pulling that out. We got Magic Mike over here.
that's a lot of money. So,
$1 billion is a lot. Okay.
So our last segment, we got culture news. So we spoke about music. Music, film, fashion, food, business, all of that. So
Right.
this is fire. We got Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats. They're bringing their art collection, to the Brooklyn Museum. I'm gonna go see this. I'm excited about this.
Okay.
You don't know Swiss Beats is from the Bronx. You're speaking to two women born and raised in the Bronx, so this definitely it's fire. And
Right.
so the art collection of Alicia Keys and Swiss Beats will be on view as part of an exhibition at the Brooklyn Museum called Giants Art from the Zine Collection of Swiss Beats and Alicia Keys. And it's going to be available for people to come in and see from February 10th to July 7th, 2024. And the collection champions the work of Black artists, which is something that Brittany and I also love and appreciate. And we've had the opportunity to really garner relationships with a lot of dope Black artists. And this is amazing. And the exhibition will showcase the work of approximately 40 artists from the Zine collection, which includes pieces of Basquiat, Jaffa. I don't want to mispronounce anybody else's name. It also boasts the most works by Gordon Parks, held by private collectors. It's going to be divided into different sections. The show will highlight the couple's creative efforts and aspects of how the collection is brought together. And if I didn't know this, but Swiss Beats was previously on the Brooklyn Museum's board from 2015 until last month. That's
nice.
why you know, Swiss Beats has been like real advocate and very loud about his support of art,
Right.
and Black artists, and he's just been very heavily invested in art for a few years now. And I think that's one of the first people, at least for me, that I saw who was already an artist. Obviously, Swizz Beatz is a producer and former rapper, but he spoke so passionately about art and how important it was to collect. He was one of the first artists that I saw being so loud about it and vocal about it. And so, I think that this is a great opportunity to check this. It sounds like a beautiful exhibition. Again, I'm going to try to get there. I think it's going to be amazing. I need Swizz Beatz to do one in the Bronx, okay? I think that'll be super fire. And he probably has already done it, and we may not know about it.
Right.
So apologies if he has, but we'd love for him to come back and do something in the Bronx. So, yeah. And Brittany, do you have anything to say about that?
I'm excited. Like this, the fact that the museums are acknowledging the rappers and the time that they put in, that makes my heart smile. Obviously, we seen Jay-Z had his whole, the Book of Hove exhibition. And now Swizz Beatz is gonna showcase his art collection. I mean, really, I think this is about exposure, right? Like getting people to understand why art is so important. Like I didn't really start getting into this until we kind of like dove into, Web3 and stuff like that, and us starting to meet graphic artists and visual artists and graphic designers and all these people. Like this is a whole nother level of artistry that I really did not know that was thriving in its own sense.
Right.
So just happy that Swizz Beatz is doing something unprecedented. Like this is, he's showing us his art collection and showing us why he's passionate about it, and why you should be collecting Black art too.
Yeah, so it's an investment.
Love it.
Love to see it, and also it's not on our thing to talk about. Wanted to talk about Metro Boomin.
Oh yeah, the symphony with the Red Bull joint.
Listen, this past week we saw that Metro Boomin had a symphony. He had a symphony, and they were covering. Oh, you want to? Hold on. So, they were covering all of the songs that he happened to produce. So, all his songs with Future, all his songs, not every song, but many of his songs they covered.
A lot of the bangers.
Yo, it was so fire. It was just amazing to watch, and it just shows the reach of Black culture and Black creativity. It was amazing to watch. Brittany mentioned that it happened in LA. I would love for the artists to do this more often, but in different regions.
Yeah.
It would be great if like the Atlanta or down south artists would do that in Atlanta. It's already like the Black Mecca, right? Art and music, it'd be dope if they brought that whole idea there. And up here, we do something in New York. That would be super fire.
Right.
But yeah, just wanted to shout out Metro Boomin because that was just amazing to watch. Like I didn't see like the whole thing. Brittany watched it. But
very entertaining. The crowd was into it. Just go on YouTube and watch it, y'all. It's about an hour and some change. He had some live people come out and perform live while he was, helping with the orchestra and stuff like that. But it was really fire. I mean, music is music, right? Music is universal, so it was really fire to see the violinists getting crazy.
Opera singers and opera singers there, y'all. Singing trap songs, like trap music.
Yeah.
I was gonna also say trap music. But it was great to see. Shout to him. Mark Cuban, obviously we know that he was a majority stakeholder in the Mavericks organization, in the Dallas Mavericks organization. He has sold his majority stake, well, not the whole thing, but has sold some of it to Sands casino magnate Miriam Adelson and her family for $3.5 billion, a $3.5 billion valuation. It's important to note that when he became the Dallas Mavericks majority stakeholder back in 2000, he bought in at $285 million. So that return on investment is crazy. He bought in at $285 million. He's now selling it at $3.5 billion. That's crazy numbers, right? And that's what you want to see when you're investing, period. You want to see the return, and he's seeing it.
That ROI looking crazy.
Right. And, Brittany and I talked about this over at the 9450. That is a heist. Like, the most beautiful heist. Like, again, he made it really cool for owners to sit with, fans and the crowd. And, Mark is very personable. We've seen him at Dykeman. We've seen him at Rucker Park, excuse me. We've seen him at so many different outings and places and, always with the people. And he made that cool, right? We usually see the owners in the skybox. He wasn't doing that. He didn't care about none of that. He was sitting with the people and garnered over $4 million in fines because he was sitting amongst the fans. He didn't care about that. And just because of his business mind, he did that. But it's marketing, right? It's marketing. It's promotion. The viewership probably went up by a ton because of him doing that. Just being more personable and face forward. And the Dallas Mavericks organization has been thriving since he's been but just been a majority stakeholder, and they'll continue to do well. He's not leaving, like Kenneth mentioned. He still retains a position there, so fine.
He still got a minority stake in it.
Yeah, he's still there, and he has hinted for partnering with Sands for a year now, with the goal of building a new arena in Dallas attached to a casino right now. The laws are not favorable in Texas when it comes to like gambling and betting and things of that nature. However, there are talks that Mark has been kind of pushing the envelope in the, with government officials and having them maybe flip the laws in reference to that and maybe bring some more money into Texas. And if that happens, Mark is going to have a field day there and make even more money. He's also leaving Shark Tank. Brittany and I like Shark Tank. He has one more season there, so I think he'll be leaving in 2025. But again, just love seeing the transition. He is a serial entrepreneur, a successful entrepreneur, and just interested in seeing what his next venture looks like. Money makes this happen. Safe to say the play is already in. That's a fact.
Yeah, for sure. We over here.
We're just late.
Yeah, we late. We don't know, but he got cash on the books right now. He getting ready to do something.
Mm-hmm.
He already got it planned out. We just don't know what it is yet. But
we don't know.
It's just like it's just like when Warren Buffett sells any of his shares out of his portfolio. And he's making a transition to another.
They're steps ahead. We're behind.
Right. We don't know what's going on. But like Shantae said, they pushing the legalized gambling in Texas. So, I mean, he's already partnering with the Sands family to do this deal to sell them a majority stake of the Dallas Mavericks. So he may be.
He just said he's been talking to them for a year now. If he's been talking to them for a year, that means they've been really talking for more than a year.
Right.
So,
and to be quite factual and actual, this is how business deals take this long. Like they take a long time. because people have to gain your trust, right? They have to,
do their due diligence.
right. It's like background checks. Like I gotta make sure that you right.
No force on that relationship. Like
Exactly.
So let's go golfing. Let's go, all the things.
I gotta get to the golf course, man.
Right. All the things, that's what's been happening. I mean, that man makes a ton of money, and he's going to continue to make a ton of money and help the market. We'll be on the lookout for all the ventures that you have coming down the pipeline. And I feel like that's it. We will not be talking about.
We're not talking about surviving Diddy, okay?
Because it's nasty.
Diddy.
That's all we said. He's nasty. That's all we got. Like, we're not going to address that. But we appreciate y'all for tapping in with us for this long. It's been a while since we did it.
A long one. Yeah.
I don't feel like it doesn't feel like it was long because it went, to me, it kind of went by fast, but yeah, an hour and 32 minutes. We covered a lot of ground today. A lot was happening this week in sports. What's up, Jay? Thanks for tapping in.
Right. What's up, Jay?
I'm done. I'm done. But we appreciate y'all. We really do. Thank y'all for tapping in and listening to all the information. The recap from this week. It was a lot. And
big facts.
Yeah, like tap in with us next Sunday. Again, if you are not subscribed to the 9450, definitely subscribe. We do have a couple of things happening with the 9450 at the top of the year. I don't know if we want to wait to announce it. Maybe we should. Okay.
Yeah, I think when we get more details and clean
tap
it
in
up.
with us though. Subscribe to the 9450. Subscribe to Beyond the 9450. We do like mini recaps in the middle of the week, and then obviously on Sunday is when we come in with y'all. We dive into more topics, but we definitely do a mini recap of the week almost every Wednesday. So please subscribe, listen. Hopefully we'll have it in our bio soon. Instagram's been hating on us. And so
we about to see if they hating on us right now, because y'all ain't been giving us our views. What's up with y'all?
Yeah, it's been weird and wonky.
Very weird.
We'll get that situated so you can subscribe and listen to us. But again, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. Thank y'all for tapping in. And we'll see y'all next Sunday.
We'll see y'all.
Okay? We'll see y'all next Sunday. Community got I don't know. We haven't been like doing anything crazy. It's
right.
Just,
they've been bugging out.
Yeah.
Well, if y'all not gonna show my views anyway, I'm gonna put it out there. Y'all better go get my book.
Yeah.
Go get the book, okay? Groundwork29.com is live. Go there and get your autographed copy, all right? We don't really be talking just to talk. We walk the walk. I've written a book specifically for student athletes to navigate this lifestyle, okay? So this is just one of the many things that we're going to get done. So let's go. Go get it. Groundwork29.com.
All right. And, we got to keep things coming. Be on the lookout. But we love y'all. We thank y'all. Have a great rest of the Sunday evening. And see y'all next Sunday. Peace, y'all.
Peace. I gotta go get my baby. She crying. We'll see y'all next week, though.